definitely remember, even as a young person, feeling pretty lucky because she had to kind of flee her home country, and she was a product of flight. I mean, even her parents uh, were originally from the Ukraine and went into Iran when when the revolution was happening in Russia, and things were not ever easy for them. But they were in Iran at the time when the Shah had created kind of this relationship with the West that doesn't exist anymore. And there were Western conservatory. There was a big conservatory. There was a beautiful hall. There were people who were brought in apparently to play Western music, and many of the greatest artists were heard. I mean, I guess she said American Ballet Theater used to come to Iran, and what a different world this was. And so her influences were primarily Eastern European and European. Um, and then when she came to the US, she decided she was going to get married and not play anymore. But at the time, she was still playing. So I remember as a 6-year-old being able to sit underneath the piano and just listen to this music being created, and I think that alone had the most profound effect on who I became as a pianist because it wasn't that I was just being taught how to play, but I could actually see what she was doing and hear it right there. And I don't think that every teacher has to play at the highest level, but when you do experience that as a child, that's like a huge bonus, I believe. Um, and so if in the absence of that with your teacher, you are studying the piano, I would just encourage you to keep going to concerts as much as possible because that's really the only way to know what's possible. What because as a child you love it, but how would you know where it can take you until you hear somebody do it and do it really, really well? And so again, I think, my career, my whole musical life is in some ways a product of this gratefulness for even just being thrown into this situation that I had no control of, meeting this person who then guided my career and didn't have children of her own, so I kind of became this like surrogate figure in her life in many different ways. And so um, again, it shaped me as a musician, as a person, and every time I walk on the stage, I think, if it weren't for this one person, none of this would be happening.